Let's talk about some of the biggest, most overlooked habits that end up seriously damaging people's health, especially as you get older. If you're over 50, this becomes crucial, but honestly, the younger you are when you understand this, the better. Most conventional health advice just doesn't cut it. You won't hear this from a regular physician because medical school doesn't really equip doctors with deep nutritional knowledge. Their training is more about classifying symptoms into tidy categories and then prescribing a matching pharmaceutical. Before we jump in, if you're tired of generic health advice and you're ready to understand what actually keeps people sick and how to turn it around naturally, this is the place for you. I break down what most doctors won't tell you: real root causes, smart nutrition, and how to rebuild your health from the inside out. So if that's the kind of insight you've been looking for, hit subscribe now, because what you're about to learn could seriously change the way you look at your health forever. First, make sure your source of health information actually has a strong background in real-world outcomes, not just textbook theories. Second, be cautious of accepting a diagnosis that doesn't truly resonate with your experience. Always question and dig deeper. Third, your treatment or solution should relieve the issue, not introduce new complications in the form of harmful side effects. Now let's get into some of the most critical nutrients for long-term health. At the top of the list, vitamin D. Think about this. Your genetic blueprint contains around 20,000 to 25,000 genes, and vitamin D influences about 10% of them. That's massive. To truly see a therapeutic effect, people often need to take significantly more vitamin D3 than the outdated recommendations suggest. Doses like 10,000 to 50,000 IU daily in certain cases under medically supervised. Next in line is magnesium, which is critical, but shockingly low in most people's diets. It's involved in hundreds of metabolic functions, including energy production, nerve signaling, and heart rhythm. It's almost impossible to have healthy cardiovascular function without sufficient magnesium. When magnesium is lacking, energy production drops. The heart is at risk, and even your muscles and sleep cycles are disrupted. Following that, we have zinc, another often overlooked but essential trace mineral. Zinc is foundational to your immune response, hormone regulation, wound healing, and more. And here's the thing: these three, vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, work together like gears in a machine. If one is missing, the whole system can fall out of balance. Now let's look at the flip side. Nutrients you should be cautious about. Calcium is one of them. Although it's heavily promoted, especially for bone health, excess calcium, especially without proper regulation, can calcify your arteries and soft tissues. And guess what helps keep calcium in check? You got it, magnesium. Even more dangerous than too much calcium, excess iron. The body has a very difficult time eliminating it. On average, we can only shed about 0.5 to 1 milligram of iron per day, yet many people, especially women, are recommended to consume way more than that. Over time, too much iron builds up in organs, leading to oxidative stress. Think of it as rusting from the inside. Most people don't realize that high iron levels are often behind fatigue, liver strain, and even heart disease. And those iron-enriched processed foods and cereals, they're part of the problem. Many people with so-called iron deficiencies actually have a distribution issue, not a lack of iron. Taking more just worsens the imbalance. What do you think about the connection between vitamin D, magnesium, and zinc? Have you ever noticed improvements in your health when taking any of these together? Drop your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and what's worked for you. Another huge myth is that salt is bad for you. The truth is, refined table salt is the problem. Unrefined sea salt or mineral salt, on the other hand, contains dozens of essential trace elements your body craves. When someone is labeled salt sensitive, they're usually just low in potassium, which works hand in hand with sodium to balance fluids, nerve signals, and muscle contractions. Avoiding all salt can actually lead to elevated stress hormones, poor sleep, and low energy. You need a healthy amount of sodium, just the right kind. On the topic of potassium, most people are nowhere near the daily recommended intake of around 4,700 milligrams. That's a key nutrient for muscle performance, energy, and electrolyte balance. Let's move on to something I was asked recently. What should I be focusing on during menopause? One of the most answers is healthy dietary cholesterol. Yep, you heard right. While we're told to fear cholesterol, the truth is that our major hormones like estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone are all synthesized from it. If you're cutting down cholesterol or taking medications that block it, your hormone levels could plummet even further. This leads to fatigue, brain fog, and mood swings. Foods like eggs, butter, shrimp, and full-fat dairy offer high-quality cholesterol your body can use to support hormonal health, brain function, and even digestion. Now let's touch on something so logical it's often missed. Diabetes is a condition of too much sugar in the blood, so why are we not starting by reducing sugar and refined carbs? But it's not just about avoiding sugar, it's about hidden starches. These are carbs disguised with names like modified food starch or enriched wheat flour. These break down quickly into glucose and raise your blood sugar just like table sugar. Let's talk macros, proteins, fats, and carbs. Which one should you prioritize for health? Protein, hands up. Protein isn't just for muscles. It's what builds your immune system, your enzymes, your neurotransmitters, basically everything. When you eat low-protein diets full of snacks and processed foods, your body stays malnourished no matter how many calories you consume. If you want to support your body's repair systems, grass-fed red meat, pasture-raised lamb, and wild-caught fish are your best friends. They contain essential amino acids, trace minerals, and B vitamins in highly bioavailable forms. And don't forget about organ meats. They're nutritional gold. If you're not into liver, try cod liver. It's mild, versatile, and packed with omega-3s and vitamin A and D. Now let's look at meal frequency, which is a game changer. Whether you eat 2,500 calories in 2 meals or spread them over 6 snacks, each time you eat, you spike insulin, the hormone that stores fat and drives inflammation when it's chronically elevated. Excess insulin is at the heart of most modern chronic illnesses, weight gain, fatty liver, hypertension, even Alzheimer's. By simply cutting out the snacks and moving toward eating twice a day, also known as intermittent fasting, you allow your insulin levels to stabilize and your body to shift into healing mode. Let's also talk about autoimmune disorders when the immune system mistakenly attacks the body. These conditions are skyrocketing, and while low vitamin D plays a major role, there's more to it. Infections, viruses, and gut imbalances are major triggers. Some pathogens are smart. They actually block your vitamin D receptors so your body can't use it, even if your blood levels are normal. And here's the part few talk about. Right before many people develop autoimmune symptoms, they go through a major life stress, losing a loved one, a breakup, a traumatic event. This spike in cortisol disrupts immune function and makes your system more vulnerable to misfiring. Have you tried intermittent fasting or cutting down on snacks? How did your body respond? More energy, better focus, easier weight control? Drop a comment and let's talk about it. That's why medications like prednisone, a synthetic cortisol, are used to treat autoimmune flare-ups. They suppress the immune system to prevent it from attacking itself. But long-term, this isn't a cure. The best thing you can do? Manage stress at the root. This means daily exercise, time outdoors, and detoxifying your mental environment, social media, drama, overstimulation. Last but absolutely not least, your gut microbiome. The bacteria in your digestive tract make up a virtual organ of their own. They outnumber your human cells, and they impact everything from your mood to your immune system to your ability to digest nutrients. Taking antibiotics, especially repeatedly, can permanently alter your gut ecosystem. It's a myth that your microbiome will just bounce back. Some strains of bacteria never repopulate again without outside help. Your gut microbes help create neurotransmitters like serotonin, produce vitamins, balance blood sugar, reduce inflammation, fight infections, and even protect you from cancer. They're essential. That's why regularly consuming fermented foods like sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, or a quality probiotic can make such a big difference. I know we covered a lot here, but each of these points is a building block for real, lasting health. Especially if you're over 50, this information becomes vital. But even if you're much younger, starting now will set you up for success. Health isn't an accident. It's built deliberately, one habit at a time. And everything we talked about today are tools to help you do just that.